Thinking about moving from New York City to Central Florida? Well, buckle up. Today we're going to compare the Big Apple to the Big Mouse. Well, watch this video. I'm going to compare New York City to Central Florida. So let's start with the big picture, the main headline. The cost of living in New York City is 71% more than it is here in Central Florida. Yep, 71%. That's almost twice as costly. Hot damn. Let's find out how that happens. So let's start with housing. Everyone needs somewhere to sleep, and that's a cost that's gonna happen. In New York City, you're looking at a median home cost of around $800,000. That could probably buy you a 2-bedroom and maybe a broom closet. While down here in Central Florida, the median home price is around $370,000, and that's getting you a house with a yard and possibly even come with an extra bedroom where you can store all your giant Costco purchases. Now, not everyone is going to be buying, so let's look at rent. In New York City, the average rent for an apartment is right around $4,000. That same apartment here in Central Florida is going to land you roughly between $1,600 and $1,900 a month. That is less than half the cost of the rent up there in New York City as down here. Now, if you've ever paid that New York City rent, you probably just heard those Florida numbers and you said, what is the fairy godmother paying half your rent? I don't know, maybe she is, but those are the rental prices. I know there's actually plenty of options where you can rent a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house with a yard and everything for just over $2,000. Now let's dive into taxes. Let's look at income tax. Up in New York State, depending on where you live, you're looking at a 4% to 6.85% tax on your income. Down here in Florida, the percentage of income that the state takes from you is 0. Florida takes 0 income tax from you. That is delightful. Let's say you make $100,000 a year. Down here in Florida, you are saving $4,000 to $6,800 a year on taxes. Now let's look at sales tax. In New York City, you're looking at 8.5% sales tax, while down here in Central Florida, depending on what county you are in, is between 6.5 and 7%. That is a full percent plus a half difference, and possibly more depending on where you are in Central Florida. Now, before you start licking your chops and getting real excited that Florida is way more affordable than New York, there is a category where Florida takes a big fat L, and that is in homeowners insurance. Up in New York, the typical homeowners insurance is running between $2,000 and $3,000. Down here in Florida, depending on where you live, typical insurance is costing between $3,500 and $8,000 a year. That is generally more than twice the amount in New York for a home that is less than half the value. You might be asking, why is homeowners insurance so much in Florida? Well, take your pick. We have hurricanes, sinkholes, slimy contractors, Florida man, and we have powers that be that don't do jack shit on the insurance crisis. For your information, this insurance crisis has been going on for over a decade now, and it's only getting worse. Daily living costs. Up in New York, your groceries are costing about 33% more than they are here in Central Florida. If you're dining out, looking at about 39% more. These metrics I'm finding on sources, but in my experience, eating out up in New York is generally almost more than double what it is down here. But maybe that's because I know the good cheap spots here in Central Florida, and up in New York, I'm just going to what's convenient. In general, your daily goods, your purchasing power is right around 20% more here in Central Florida than it is in New York. That considers all your typical daily costs, that's commute, gas prices, food, all that good stuff. Your dollar's going about 20% further here in Florida than it is in New York City. Now, that does not count for if you're in the theme parks or in the sports stadiums, because they will rake you over the coals as far as costs. The Big Mouse, Universal, they want their money, son. So here's the big takeaway. Florida, way more livable across the board, winning by a landslide, affordability, cost of living, get more space on a home, blah, 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 all that good stuff. Florida wins. But if you love world-class culture, if you like really good public transportation, Florida's public transportation is rough, but we're improving. It's still rough. If you also like that really harsh New York accent and and my doggies are barking. That was bad. And if you like paying $30 for a cocktail, New York is still your place to be. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you have any concerns or questions, please leave a comment below. If you want to get your home buying or selling journey started, email us at hello@mailaot or fill out the form in the description. Talk to you soon. And that's an Orlando thing. Check out the description for more information. See you next time on AOT.